Midwife is in. Today I'm doing a quick little video about the top questions that I get asked when people first find out that they're pregnant. Chris is gonna help me out today. And you have to forgive me for being wrapped up in a blanket here on the ground. It just got really cold out and I haven't turned my heat on yet. So the first question that I always get asked is, what can I eat? And the answer to that is pretty much everything that you've always eaten in the past. Generally, just be careful with the food. You don't want to eat food that could make you sick. Bugs that you can get from food poisoning normally, that you would just get really sick, have a ton of diarrhea, maybe throw up, can affect and harm a fetus. For example, listeria. Listeria is common to be found on deli meats or other things that sit out. Do you really want to eat deli meats that you don't necessarily trust anytime in your life? Maybe not. So my recommendation is, if you want to eat deli meats or other foods, make sure that you know where they come from. Make sure that you trust the source. For example, I would avoid sushi from the corner store, from the gas station, but if you're going to a sushi restaurant where you trust the sources, that's healthy and safe to eat. That brings me to fish. Fish is also something that people are often both warned off against and strongly encouraged to eat. Fish has omega-3 fatty acids that are really good for baby's brain development. My recommendation for fish is make sure that you eat the smaller fishes in the food chain. So we're watching out for mercury levels with fish. Want to make sure that what you're eating during pregnancy is as low a level of mercury as possible. The bigger the fish is, the more likely that it'll have high levels of mercury. Those are fishes like tuna. You're going to want to avoid them. You can also take a supplement of omega-3 fatty acids, and one of my favorite ways to get that supplement is through fish oil. For people who are happy taking fish oil, Nordic Naturals is the brand that I always go with. And for people who generally eat vegetables and would rather not eat oils made from animals, Omega Twin is a good vegetarian omega-3 fatty acid supplement. If you are a vegetarian during pregnancy, I do strongly recommend you take an omega-3 fatty acid supplement. And what about alcohol? What's the deal? Some people say yes, some people say no, some people say don't even think about it. Other people say just a sip here, just a sip there. It's going to be about you, your decisions, your risks that you're willing to take, and your discussion with your healthcare provider. This is really important. Talk to your healthcare provider. Know that they have all of the information. There has been no safe level of alcohol shown. We have very, very little information about how much alcohol can cause fetal alcohol syndrome. What does that mean for you? It means that your choices are either to risk it and drink a little bit, or to avoid all alcohol. I'm not going to give you a recommendation. I know that some people say a sip here, a sip there, or some people say as long as you're not getting drunk, as long as you don't feel a buzz, don't feel tipsy, then you're okay. Again, really talk to your healthcare provider. They're going to be the one to guide you through this. Another question I get from everybody is, can I exercise? Yes, exercise. Exercise is so important, so good. Granted, during your pregnancy and while you're later in your pregnancy, you're not going to want to start a new exercise regimen that you've never done before. You're not going to start suddenly doing kickboxing or lifting weights. Don't stress your body out in a way that you don't know what its effects are. Be really tuned in with your body. If you start to feel lightheaded, sit down, put your head between your knees. My absolute favorite exercise for pregnant folks is, big surprise, prenatal yoga. Prenatal yoga is so good. It supports all of these muscles and really strengthens your body. What kind of prenatal vitamin should I take? Well, the answer to that is always a food-based prenatal vitamin. So that means that you're going to want to be getting the food-based vitamins all in one compact little delicious pill instead of the synthetic versions of those vitamins. So for example, folate is the food-based vitamin B9, whereas folic acid, which I'm sure you've heard of, is the synthetic version of that. I always recommend the folate over folic acid. How much should you be taking? It may be hard to buy an over-the-counter folate that has enough. 800 micrograms is what you'll get over the counter. 1 milligram daily of folate is going to be a prescription dose for a pregnancy. Now the next question here is about cats. I often get the question, does this mean that I need to get rid of my cat? And no, you absolutely do not. That would be horrible. Don't get rid of your cat unless you don't like your cat. Then send it to someone who does. The reason why people worry about cats is because of toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is a parasite that is really, really cool and can be very dangerous to fetuses. It lives in mice brains where it tricks the mice into really liking the smell of cat urine. They hang out near cats, the cats eat them, it gets into the cats. Then it can be pooped out in the cat's excrement, and when you clean it up, you can get toxoplasmosis. So what's your answer to avoiding getting toxoplasmosis, which can really damage a fetus? Lucky you, you don't have to clean the litter box anymore. Additionally, if you're doing something really lovely like snuggling with your cat, you can't necessarily know that they haven't just recently licked their butt and then licked their paw and gotten it on their paw. So, generally try not to lick your cats, and when you're done snuggling with them and before you eat, wash your hands. Easy. I'll also get questions about working. People saying, okay, I'm 6 weeks pregnant, should I stop working? Will working put me at higher risk for having a miscarriage? No. You can continue to do all of the things that normally you do with your life. You're just going to have to do them a little bit slower. You go ahead and work until either you get maternity leave or until your healthcare provider tells you it's time to stop. At the beginning of your pregnancy, as long as you're feeling healthy and fine, there should be very little difference in your life. As your belly gets bigger and you start to have a lot more strain on your pelvic muscles, on your circulatory system, then you're going to want to slow down a little bit. That doesn't mean stop exercising, that doesn't mean stop working. Keep doing it, just do it slower. You can always ask your healthcare providers to write a pregnancy letter for you to bring to your bosses to make sure that you get a pee break every 2 hours at the least, and the option to sit down at work. So if you work at a cash register, you can sit down behind the cash register. You don't want to be lifting more than 50 pounds, and that's about it.